3 Denim Horror Stories. Denim. 1. Dirty Dave. When Dave was an undergrad student, he was often referred to as a bohemian. A bohemian. The less charitable called him a bum. He wore the same pair of ratty jeans day in and day out for an entire school year, September to April, the same pair every day, without bothering to wash them. It got so that the weedy smell of the dirty denim could clear a lecture hall or the cafeteria, with one long-suffering student complaining, "That dude's got the B.O. of an elephant." Finally, one of the business students, an entrepreneur, started a funding drive. This was in the days before crowdfunding, and on the last day of winter classes, presented Dave with a brand new pair of Levi's. A brand new pair of Levi's. "Oh, wow, man," Dave said as he dreamily eyed his new breeches. "Guess I should shower first, eh?" he added in his usual decisive manner. "Yes, shower," everyone yelled. So Dave went to his pad, showered, and donned his new blue jeans. Perfect fit. His mother didn't even have to sew them. So all was well on campus for a day or so, and when people asked Dave what he'd done with his old jeans, he said he'd left them standing in the corner of his room, standing all by themselves. But not for long. Seems the stinky old jeans got bored and decided to take a walk over to campus to look for Dave. The first students to see the jeans walking by themselves through the parking lot stared at them in bewilderment until somebody shouted, "It's an invisible man! An invisible man!" By the time the jeans walked into the student center, both panic and pandemonium had broken out, and in the confined space, the smell seemed far worse than it did when what passed for a human being, what passed for a Homo sapien, had been wearing them. Eventually, a biohazards team was deployed, complete with hazmat suits, and the jeans were chased down and quickly incinerated. But alas, an appalling stench hung over the city for over 48 hours. As for Dave himself, he eventually cleaned up his act, earned an MBA, joined the HR department, and became a different kind of stinker. 2. The dress. Denise liked to dress well, but on the cheap. As a result, she haunted the thrift and second-hand stores where she found many a treasure at bargain rates. So when she spotted the denim dress, she had to have it. It was only $20, an almost perfect fit, and she planned to wear it to a party that very evening. The night was warm, and the party was held in the backyard. There was food and drink, music and dancing, and Denise was having a great time, till she collapsed. Someone called 911, while everyone else stood around and gawked at Denise lying sprawled on the patio. "She's breathing, but she's perspiring heavily," Melissa was telling the 911 operator. "Anna, Anna let out a sudden gasp. "She got that dress at a thrift store." And when several people said, "So what?" she continued, "Haven't you heard the story of the girl who bought a dress at a thrift store and it killed her? Seems that someone working at a funeral parlor stole the dress off a corpse and sold it to the thrift store for a few bucks. Well, the whole dress was laced with formaldehyde from the embalmed corpse, and when the girl who bought it wore it to a party and began to sweat, well, the sweat mixed with the formaldehyde and killed her." "Ah, that's just an urban legend," someone said. "Is it? What if she's dying? Look at the way she's sweating." In the end, they decided to remove the dress just in case. Unfortunately, Denise didn't have much on under the dress, and by the time police, fire, and the EMTs showed up, between 30 and 40 people had got to see her without pretense. Denise didn't die. She'd simply passed out. Seems the dress was a bit of a squeeze to get into, so she skipped eating all day and then went partying. This little episode, while embarrassing at the time, wasn't all bad. Denise received proposals from a cop, a fireman, and an EMT, and she chose the EMT. The EMT is a good man to have around in an emergency, and no one can say he didn't know what he was getting into. 3. The Denim Man. I'd gone into a donut hole for a coffee. Double, 2 cream, 2 sugar, and was sitting at the counter when I realized all the other customers were staring at me. I looked helplessly at the cute girl behind the counter. "Is it something I did?" "Don't you know?" "Know what?" For answer, she slapped the local tabloid down before me. Its screaming headline said, "Denim Man Strikes Again." Now, I like denim and was currently wearing jeans, a jean jacket, and a Levi's shirt. My socks were even blue-gray, but they weren't denim, and I wore motorcycle boots, not blue suede shoes. So, yeah, I like denim. But so did a serial killer who had claimed 4 victims in the past month. Descriptions were vague, but the witnesses agreed that the killer was dressed entirely in denim. Now, here I was, getting the stink eye from 15 to 20 people? It was unnerving. So I turned to face the room and said, "Hey, I just came in here for a cup of coffee. I can't help it I like to wear denim. If you think there's a problem, then call the police." "Good for you," the counter girl said. A few people continued to stare at me, but most dropped their eyes, and after a minute or so, all had returned to their phones or their conversation. Maybe somebody took a pic of me. Good luck with that. I hung around for an hour talking to the waitress, whose name was Isabella, and when she left work, I walked her to the parking lot, where I cut her throat before throwing her corpse into the trunk of my car. When I finally got home, I removed the wig and fake glasses and took a long, hot shower. Even if someone did take my picture, no one would ever recognize me. I only wear denim when I'm out hunting, and nowhere else. especially not work. What do I do? Oh, I'm in HR. Human relations, you know. Dear listeners, this all started a few weeks back with a comment I made on a Mortis Media video featuring demonic horror stories. I wrote that I thought the title was Denim Horror Stories. A number of people seemed amused by the idea, so I thought I would try to write some denim horror stories. You can let me know in the comments if you think I succeeded. I have one more of these corny stories ready to go, and I will record it if I can get 30 likes. Okay, if I can get 20 likes. 15? Are you up to the challenge? Till midnight. Cheers. Your host, Warren Jeans.